This video helps you solve one of the most common and frustrating problems in After Effects: animations that technically work but feel wrong. If you ever rotated an object and watched it spin around a strange point, scaled something and seen it grow unnaturally, or spent time adjusting keyframes without improving the result, the root cause is usually the anchor point. This lesson shows you how to identify that problem early, understand why it happens, and fix it in a controlled, predictable way before you start animating. So what is the anchor point? It's the hidden pivot point that controls how every layer in After Effects rotates, scales, and transforms. By default, it sits in the center of a layer, but animation rarely should. Then the anchor point is placed logically at a hinge, base, joint, or pivot. Motion instantly feels natural and believable. When it isn't, animations feel awkward, floaty, or just wrong. Understanding the anchor point early saves you hours of frustration later, because most animation problems are not timing issues, they are pivot issues. Master this one concept and suddenly rotations behave, scaling makes sense, and your animations start to look intentional rather than accidental. Step 1. Create a clean project. Yes, foundation first. Go to File, New Project. Save it immediately. Yes, immediately. Name it something like After Effects Fundamentals. Save it in a folder you can easily find later, because you will forget where it is, and After Effects will not help you remember. Step 2. Create the composition for this lesson. Click New Composition. Name it V for video V1 anchor point, or any naming system you prefer. Just be consistent. Use preset HD 1920 by 1080 Full HD. Set duration to 5 seconds and click OK. Step 3. Import the flower image. You can use any image. I'll use a flower, and you can download mine using the link in the description. Press Ctrl I for Windows or Command plus I for Mac to import. Select a file, for example Flower AI or the PNG version, and click Open. Step 4. Add the flower to the comp, perfectly centered. Select a flower in the project panel. Press Ctrl plus / for Windows or Command plus / for Mac. This adds the layer centered in the current comp. Step 5. Reveal transform properties and test the problem. Now we observe the default behavior, like a scientist but with more keyframes. In the timeline, expand the layer, expand transform, or quickly twirl everything open by holding Ctrl and clicking the little arrow next to the layer name. Scrub rotation. Notice the flower rotates around its center. Now scrub scale. It scales from the center again, which is not how a flower grows unless it's powered by alien technology. Click Reset in Transform. So we go back to original neutral position. So key principle. Whenever you add a layer, ask yourself, what should this layer logically rotate or scale around? For a flower, the answer is the base of a stem. Step 6. Use the layer panel to move the anchor point precisely. Double-click the flower layer. It opens in the layer panel. The layer panel is focused, isolated view of a single layer, shown independently from the rest of the composition. When you double-click a layer, After Effects opens it in this panel, so you can examine and modify the layer without distraction from the other layers, blending modes, masks, or background elements. This is especially important for tasks like adjusting the anchor point, editing masks, or inspecting layer-specific paths, because you are working in the layer's own coordinate space, not the composition's. In simple terms, the layer panel answers the question, what is happening inside this layer itself? Tip: look at the top of the panel. It will literally say layer or composition, so you know where you are. Optional but helpful. Dock the layer panel next to the comp panel so you can see both clearly. In the layer panel, go to View, Anchor Point Path. You will see a small crosshair. That's the anchor point. Step 7. Understand the illusion when moving the anchor point. Now drag the anchor point in the layer panel and watch carefully. Drag the anchor point down. The flower appears to move up in the comp. Drag it left. The flower appears to move right. Important clarification: this does not mean you are changing position. The position value in the timeline stays the same. The anchor point location in the comp panel stays the same. So why does the layer appear to move? Because you are changing where the anchor point sits inside the layer, which changes that the layer's pixels are drawn relative to its position coordinate. It's subtle, and it's exactly the kind of subtle things that ruins animations quietly. Here's the key thing to understand. The layer is not actually moving. The position value does not change, and the anchor point's position in the composition stays exactly where it was. Nothing in the comp has shifted. What has changed is that the anchor point sits inside the layer itself. You are not moving the layer through space. You are changing the internal reference point that the layer is drawn around. Then the internal reference shifts. The pixels appear in a different place relative to the comp, creating the illusion of movement. It's subtle but crucial. You are not moving the object. You are moving the hinge it's attached to. Now do the practical part. Drag the anchor point to the base of the stem in the layer panel. Close the layer panel if you want, or keep it open for now. Step 8. Reposition the flower and retest rotation and scale. In the comp panel, drag the flower down so the stem touches the bottom of the comp frame. Scrub rotation and scale again. Now the movement looks natural. Rotation and scaling happen around the base, like the flower is actually planted in the ground. Step 9. Faster workflow. Pan behind or anchor point tool. The layer panel is precise, but we have another method which is fast. In the timeline, go to Transform, Reset, again back to center defaults. Press Y to select Pan behind or anchor point tool. In the comp panel only, drag the anchor point. Watch the values. position and anchor point change in opposite directions, which keeps the layer visually in place. Press V to return to selection tool. By the way, remember this shortcut or write it down somewhere. It's very useful. This is why pros love this tool. It moves the pivot without causing the "why did my layer teleport" moment. We are using this method not because it's faster and safer when you're already working in the composition. The pen behind anchor point tool lets you move the anchor point and automatically compensates the position value, so the layer stays visually in the same place. Nothing appears to jump, and you don't have to mentally track what moved and why. The anchor point path method from step 6 is more precise and more educational. It helps you understand what's really happening inside the layer. But once you understand that logic, the pen behind tool is simply the practical everyday workflow. In short, step 6 teaches you how it works. This method is how you work efficiently. Step 10. Precise placement using percent units. Dragging the layer to its position is fine, but precision is better. Try this. Right-click the position value, choose Edit Value. Set units to percentage of composition. Enter X equals 50 and Y equals 100. X equals 50 means dead center horizontally, and Y equals 100 means bottom of the composition. Click OK. To wrap up, the anchor point is not a technical detail you memorize once and forget. It's the logic that defines how a layer behaves. If the anchor point is wrong, rotation and scale will feel wrong no matter how carefully you animate. By learning to place it deliberately and understanding the difference between adjusting it inside the layer panel and moving it efficiently with the pen behind tool, you gain control of the motion instead of fighting it. Get the pivot right first, and After Effects stops guessing what you want. It starts doing exactly what you tell it to do. To finish, I have prepared a clean infographic that summarizes all the key steps we covered in this video. From identifying the anchor point problem to positioning it correctly and working with precision. You can download this infographic using the link in the video description and keep it as a quick reference while you practice. It's designed to help you revisit the logic without rewatching the entire lesson, so you can focus on building good habits and moving forward with confidence.